The first book about building a personal wealth is none other than Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. This was the first book that I ever read cover to cover voluntarily, and I'm pretty sure this is the first book that I ever read cover to cover in my life because English is my second language. I hated reading. I was really bad in my English class and I never read. But as soon as I picked up this book, I couldn't put it down. I read this book on a plane ride from America to India when I was going to visit my family, and this was the first time I ever got exposure to money and personal investing and wealth and passive income and real estate investing. This book, if you have not dove into how do you start building wealth, you have to start with this book because the way that Robert Kiyosaki explains it is so easy for anybody to understand, and I cannot recommend this book enough for you to start your personal finance and wealth journey. Number 2, after you read Rich Dad Poor Dad, you have to read Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. This book takes a completely different spin on money, but it will help you understand money from two completely different angles. Dave Ramsey has some great methods on how you can start paying down your debt, how you can start building your wealth with what he calls baby steps, and he lays it down for you step by step by step with exact things that you need to do right now. That way you can build your wealth. Robert Kiyosaki and Dave Ramsey were the two people that really ignited and started my financial education journey, so I cannot recommend these two people enough. Number 3 is The Creature from Jekyll Island. This book is completely different than the others that I just mentioned because this book talks about more on money theory. This book, The Creature from Jekyll Island, talks about the Federal Reserve Bank and what our money is and how the Fed operates and what it does. This will help you understand the theory behind money and our economic system, which will really help drive why you need to invest. Sure, you need to invest to build your wealth, but to really understand the why of why it's important in our economic system, you have to read The Creature from Jekyll Island. Number 4 is Investing in Real Estate by Gary Eldred. This one was hard to pick because there are so many good real estate investing books out there, but I picked this one because this book covers everything you need to know to get started as a real estate investor. It covers the numbers, it covers what is real estate investing, it talks about different types of real estate investing and how to get started as a real estate investor. So if you want to invest in real estate and you want a good kind of overall coverage on real estate investing, Investing in Real Estate by Gary Eldred helps break it all down. Number 5 for my stock market investors is One Up on Wall Street by Peter Lynch. If you want to know how do you find a good company to invest in, what numbers you should be looking at when you're reading financial statements, and how do you start analyzing a company, that way you can find a good company versus a bad company, One Up on Wall Street breaks it down in an easy to read format. So if you want to learn how to invest your money in the stock market, One Up on Wall Street. Now shifting gears from personal wealth to personal development is number 6, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I recommend everybody read this book. I even had everybody in my team read this book because this book goes over not just how to make friends, but how to really succeed in your communications with really anybody. Because it talks about how you should talk, the way you can say things, how do you encourage somebody, how do you get somebody to like you, how do you get somebody to do things for you, not in a kind of manipulative way, but really understanding people's intentions and learning how to speak and communicate in a very effective manner. Number 7 is, fittingly, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. This is a book on how to be more efficient and effective in your time. There are 7 different habits that this book goes over on things that you can do. That way you can be more efficient and get more things done. Like the one step that I remember really stuck with me was start with the end in mind. Where if you want to achieve this goal, if you want to fly in a private jet, are you doing the things that are going to help you actually achieve that? Now that might seem like common sense, but this book really breaks it down into a way that where you start questioning, are you doing the right things in your life that will allow you to be the most efficient and effective in your life and with the time that you have. Now, if you're like me and you're kind of overwhelmed with the idea of physically reading all these books, you don't have to physically read the book. I listen to the books. I use Audible. You can use whatever platform that you want. For me, it's a lot easier to listen to books because there's a lot of value in books. I didn't grow up with a whole bunch of mentors and people teaching me financial education and how to start a business and investing. So I got this information from books. I also get some information from YouTube and podcasts, but books have been such a wealth of knowledge for me. So I love reading books, but I'm not a good reader, so I listen to books. Number 8, this one might seem a little bit different, but Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. This is a book that focuses on relationships. How do you have a good relationship? Because essentially it talks about how men and women have different languages. Now this relationship could be your spouse. It could also be people that you work with. So it's a really good book that talks about how men and women speak differently. And even if you think you know everything, I recommend you read the book, because when you think you know everything, you probably don't know as much as you think you know. So if you want to learn about how do you communicate with the other gender and how do you actually be more efficient and effective with that, especially if if you are in a relationship, if you have a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a husband, or a wife, I highly recommend you read this book, even if you think everything is going great. Number 9 is Never Finished by David Goggins. I just finished this book, and man, I really like this book because it really lit a fire under me, and I haven't felt that way in a long time. I used to love listening to motivational CDs back when I was getting started on my entrepreneurial journey. I used to listen to a guy called Eric Thomas, E.T. I listened to a CD called The Blueprint to Success so many times that I literally memorized all the words in the CD. Now, this book, Never Finished by David Goggins, really got me excited again. The way that he speaks, the personal stories that he tells, and just kind of the crazy things that he has gone through. It will really inspire you and make you want to think bigger and really stop making excuses for yourself. So if you feel like you're stuck, you're not achieving and seeing the success that you want in life, read this book and I can guarantee you it is going to light a fire under you. Number 10 is The 48 Laws of Power. This book is very controversial because it really teaches you how can you be more manipulative, how can you get people to do things for you, how to win friends and influence people is kind of the nice way and the thing that everybody should read. 48 Laws of Power now is really how do you succeed with the way that you do things. How do you understand how to speak with people? What type of things should you say, not say? It's a really, really, really powerful book. It's gotten a lot of heat, but I would highly recommend anybody, especially if you want to be in the business space or succeed in the corporate world, read The 48 Laws of Power. If you enjoyed this short clip from my longer videos, here's another clip that I think you'll love. And while you're at it, if you're interested in learning more about how to start generating passive income, our team put together an amazing guide on how to start generating passive income for free. All you got to do is click that button right over there. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep hustling.